And Ms. Julius, I'm going to go ahead and well, thank you for that. So good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. It's approximately 7:36 p.m. and we're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. I know it is being recorded, but I'm just going to try to be as formal as I can so we can get as much as we can on the record as well. My name is Carol Renault, and I've been asked, along with Miss Julius, to take the time and try to rein in the Housing and Block Association Committee. But before we go any further, I'm just going to ask that we take at least a minute to remember in silence our sister, Miss Perlene Fields. So if we can take a minute and then we're going to resume. Thank you for taking that time. Miss Fields, and I honor her work, and I remember the passion that she had for anything that she did community board related. So I just want to end by saying, may her soul rest in peace. Um, just to get back to the business of the community, again, Miss Nicole Julius and myself will be co-chairs of the Housing and Block Association. So I'm going to give Miss Julius time to introduce herself and to just let everyone know who she is, what she's been doing, or anything else she would like to share before we proceed as well.
Good afternoon, everyone. You can hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nicole Julius. I work in high ed. Um, I'm also enrolled in school at the moment. Extremely passionate about giving back. Um, so I love to pay it forward and just giving back and making a difference. I've volunteered everywhere, Read Ahead, New Yorkers, name it, I've volunteered. And it's just a beauty now that to be able to volunteer in my own community and to give back and make a difference in my community. So I look forward. So it's going to be a learning curve, but I'm passionate about the work. I'm passionate about making a difference. So together, I think we could make a whole lot of difference, learn together, empower each other to move forward and make this committee very impactful and, help us to build and grow and learn from each other. So I'm looking forward to, getting to know each of you and working with you.
Thank you so much, Miss Julius. So, just to a little bit about myself, I'm currently a public school teacher. This is year 10. I did time in corporate prior to being a science teacher. And in terms of housing, I work with, I see Marjorie's on here. I work with Marjorie. I'm currently the secretary of the board for neighborhood housing services. This will be approximately year 3, year 4. I'm losing track of time with neighborhood housing services. And in terms of Community Board 17, I've been the co-chair of the Land Use Committee and I've chaired the Sanitation Committee as well. So I look forward to working in the housing and block association space. I've also been my block association president, so we're hoping that we're going to tie all this in, and we're going to build on the prior work that we've met here. And like Ms. Julia said, that we're going to be able to achieve something for our community. So with that said, I'm going to leave it there. And I've looked at the last few meeting minutes that we've received, and Miss Julius, if you don't have anything else, what I'd like to do, I'm going to open it up early, and then we can come back, just go back and forth, just to hear from those in our community that have signed on tonight to this meeting tonight.
Right. So we open it up to everyone else at this
Yes,
time.
we will. Right. So those of us that are on here, we'd like to hear from you. I see two names that I don't know. I just see a number, but I see Miss Logan is on here and Marjorie is on here. Anything that you would like, or anything that you think we need to continue, or anywhere you think that the Housing Block Association Committee needs to go?
This is Leonie Logan, and I'll start. I am the block president of my block association. It's East 40 Progressive Block Association. And I want to throw up my block as an example. My block is currently 80 to 85% senior citizens who are on a fixed income. And what we seriously look at is to try to gauge quality of life for these folks on my block. In terms of their needs. And this is one of the things that I think we should focus on as a community and for all the blocks, because I'm sure my block may be representative of all the other blocks in this community, where we have folks who own these homes, who have now aged out, they're living in these homes, and there are different things that I'm certain that they need help with. One of the things that we focused on, for example, is snow removal, because that's a very, very big part of the concerns with the residents on our block. So for the past few years, we've gotten a young man who has helped us, with doing snow removal. And I think this is one of the things too, as a block association, fundamentally with the community board, we might be able to reach out and tap into like a snow removal company that could help the blocks, not only just one block per se, but blocks as a group, and give some kind of reasonable discount services so that blocks can take advantage of it. So that's one thought.
All right, thanks, Miss Logan. I've made a note of it.
And Logan, if I could ask you one question. You said you East 40th, and that's between where and where?
Oh, it's between Farragut and Glenwood. We are the block over from Perdigat Park.
Oh, okay.
Miss Logan, have you ever filled out a community board? Have you ever filled out a block association form from Community Board 17?
In terms of?
There is a community board form, an official form from CB 17 that we try to get out to block associations so we can bring them on board and go to their block parties, collaborate with them. Have you ever heard of a form or filled it out, or?
Yeah, well, we've been a block association for a number of years. We've had block parties, and we've actually nixed block parties because we've after a while we found that wasn't a big concern for the residents, since we have an aging population. There are more concerns than having a block party, and we had stuff that we did with the young kids on the block until basically now the young kids have grown up and they're not on the block. So the people on the block are aged. Yeah, like I said, 85% of the people are aged seniors on a fixed income.
Right. Have you ever had an official form sent to you, since you're the president of that association? from CB17?
No, but
All right, I'm making a note of it. We will be getting, there is a form, we will be sending it to all of the members here. So if you are the president, we're going to ask you to fill it out. If not, we're going to ask you to get it to your respective presidents. I spoke with the chair of Community Board 17 earlier, and he's looking at this as an engagement tool, not necessarily the block parties, because just like my block, we a lot of us over here, we said we went from white flight to gentrification. So we've seen many changes over here, and yes, our population has aged. So there are different needs. So this form is going to pinpoint the needs of your block. So we're going to make sure that we get it to you and to everyone on here.
right, the only thing I know and remember filling out online was just the verification of the fact that, you know, my contact information that I've done online for the community board.
Got it. And I'm making a note of it on here. Thank you for that.
And
Carol, many years ago, I'm also the president of my block association, the Tilder Blocks Association. We did fill out the form, but I'd like to do it again. I mean, that was a lot of years ago. Yeah, so.
And
I would like to
I'm
deliver
making a note of it too, Marjorie. Apparently it's a good detailed form where we can get the information and start the conversation to pull in block associations as well. So I'm making a note of it here.
And to piggyback off of Leonie's comments, here at Tilder, a number of years ago, I think it's been about 8 to 9 years now, we too have an aging population. And to address the concern, we actually had a fundraiser and we bought a snowblower. And so we do snow blowing on our entire block. Initially, we were doing it for paid members, but then, you know, we considered, you know, our elderly have to walk on the entire block. So then we expanded it, and now we do all of the blocks that we are associated with. I would love to see some sort of support, because the way we pay for it is through our dues. We get a volunteer to do the snow blowing, and we're kind of out of young people, you know, teenagers to early 20s now. And we do give them some remuneration for their, you know, the time spent doing it. So yeah, if there's some avenue for a service, as Leonie said, that maybe can give us some sort of a decent rate, that would be more ideal, because now it's just like from time to time, we're making sure that there's a body ready to perform when we're expecting a storm. So that would be a great asset.
Got it. And I've made a note of it here. I remember reading something either in Rodney Bishop's newsletter or in Farah Lewis's newsletter that they did snow removal as well. So I don't know if this is an ongoing support service or if this is a one-time thing that they did for the community. But I made a note of it so that I can at least send an email and connect your association or send something out when I confirm. Or maybe the community board has something as well. I'm not sure.
Okay, that would be great.
And it looks like one of the other attendees had something to say as well. Yes, the number that ends in 53. Who is this person?
This is Ruby Harrison. I'm from Housing Committee. This email sent out at housing /
Right, and what you would like to.
No, I'm just attending the meeting.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah, I would like to talk about when it's time. I'm not holding the agenda in front of me. The explosion on East 37th Street.
Yes, we had that recent explosion. I believe it was 790. Yeah, I know where it was because I knew someone that lived there.
790, 790 East 37th Street. I understand from the media that there was work going on in 792 without a permit. I went out there, I saw the broadcast, but I haven't been back to really find out how he would get from 792 into 790 to cause a blast. I think as homeowners around here in CB 17, we need to know locally, not just what we get off the news.
Is it a connected home? I'm not familiar if it's
Yes, it's
connected
a row
or.
house. It's the brick row houses.
The reason I ask that because sometimes if someone is doing work next door, it can affect whoever is connected to them.
It was
Actually,
it was a gas
you,
leak.
It
yes,
was a gas
it's
leak. That's what I heard on 1010
Yeah,
Wins.
yeah,
It was gas leak related.
yeah.
gas related. Yes, I want to know how something like that could happen, how to prevent it. How, if we hear our neighbors chipping away at the dividing wall, what are we supposed to do?
I'm not sure I'm not sure if someone was doing work. The last I heard on 1010 Wins, like the other attendee, was that it was a gas leak. And sometimes, unfortunately, I don't have to be doing anything in my home. There could be a gas leak that just occurs with the gas. So this is why they tend to check our gas from time to time. And if we smell something, we need to call them. And they come in and they spray that bottle, and sometimes they tell us we need to evacuate. But I'm not privy to all of this information. I would have to do research other than what I heard on 1010 Wins.
Do you think with
I can share with you that if it was legal work being done, there was any structural work involved, the Department of Buildings will send you a notice, the next door neighbors a notice that this is going to be going on, and they will describe in some limited detail the nature of the work that's happening. But they can't control that, and I don't think anyone can if someone decides to do something illegally to their building.
Just to point out the gas leak, for landlords, I think if you own like a three-family, I don't know if it applies to
I'm sorry, if you're speaking, you suddenly sound very muted.
No, I'm fine, Marjorie. I'm not speaking at this time.
Oh, it was me. I sound muted. It's
Thank
Nicole.
you.
Right. So I'm
You're
just
better
saying,
now.
like for instance, gas leak. So I don't know if they were all doing this all the time, but I know last year I had to get a gas. I don't know what's the name of it, a gas leak test, and it was required. And it just turned out the person says, "Oh, you have a gas leak." I don't know how true that was, if because I mean they're trying to capitalize and make money as well. So anyway, it turned out that I did have a gas leak and I had to fix it. So I don't know if it's applicable to two family, but I was required to do it unless I get fined if I didn't perform that gas. So I would advise
I own the
people
two family, and I also had it
you have
done,
to
and
do it.
yes, it was a
Right.
requirement.
Right. So I would share that. So we empower each other. So probably that's something that people should just naturally do because it's to your own benefit. Have someone come in and test your lines because you don't know. We use it as a preventative measure. We're not
Do you
hearing
think
you.
the housing committee, do you think the housing committee could ask the gas company to make a check of the neighborhood?
The city doesn't do that, so the housing committee would not be able to do that. That's not
Yeah,
a service provided by the city.
that's a
That
city,
would be
yeah.
a national grid or whoever the gas provider
Yeah, but
is.
could we call National Grid or send them a letter? Would it be National Grid or would it be the building department? Because they come into the house once in a long while to check the gas meters and check for leaks, and they will tell you everything is fine, give you some black paint, the Rust-Oleum to paint the pipes, and that's it. But they never actually look through the house to see if there's any illegal connection. They never come into the kitchen or inside the basement. They just stop at the meter area. They never come in to see if if you have, you know, done some alteration to the gas line, if it's done properly, or if you kept it off properly. If you dropped your stove like me, I removed my stove for safety reasons. I didn't want anybody cooking in the summer kitchen. Um, you know, we kept off, a plumber kept off, but I don't know if everyone has the cap off. We need to know in detail what happened over there, why activity in one house could bear the adjoining house. We need to know more than what we see on the news.
Unfortunately, and I don't mean to just be a little curt, but this happens over. There's literally like no preventive measures where you're able to go into every home and check. This is why they ask us to help them. The first step is if you smell gas,
You
then you
call,
report it. You call.
right?
That's right. You call and report it, and they're going to come in and check your home. But in
Right.
working with all of the organizations that I've worked with, they're not going to come into every home just to
Unless
check
you
because
call
we,
them.
right, right. But if
So
you
then we
would,
don't have to call.
we didn't hear you. I'm sorry. We didn't hear that
So
part of it.
so then every homeowner should call.
It's only if you smell gas, you smell gas, then you call. That's the only way they come. They don't just come like that.
Yeah,
They
but
come
why
and
wait
if you
till
call them.
why
Because
wait
I am my
till
own owner and I have smelled gas and they came, they check the basement, they come with the meter, they check outside, they go down in the basement, they check the whole house to see, but there was no gas leak.
well, why wait till there is a gas smell?
Yeah, sometimes people
Can we
don't turn on the stove,
can
all
we
the
get
way.
a
Yeah,
check
and
to
the gas start
prevent
to
it?
escape.
By the time it's escaping, it might. I'm saying we should get checked before we smell gas.
I think that it's something that we don't have control over, but if you're concerned about your own safety, you can always call the Department of Buildings and ask what's available to you. And you can always call National Grid or whoever your local, gas provider is, and just see what kinds of services are available to you.
I was hoping it would be something collective.
We didn't hear you. You're cutting in and out. Just one final comment, then we're gonna.
Yeah, I was saying that I was hoping to organize collective neighborhood
I don't
to
know
see
if
the
everyone else
effectiveness.
heard you, but you're literally cutting in and out.
See.
Could you try saying that one more time, please?
Yes, I was thinking about the committee, the housing committee, doing something collective to either develop a program or, have C-SPAN check on some of the houses. Yeah, instead of just saying, oh, this happened, you smell gas, probably want something to prevent this from happening again.
But that goes back to you yourself could take preventative measures. Have a plumber come in and say, hey,
That's
I would like you
me
to
with
check.
my house. That's
Uh-huh.
me with my house, not
Mhm.
knowing what's going on next door. So we want to prevent a repeat of what happened over there. The whole
Oh,
neighborhood,
so that's for
yeah,
you to educate your neighbors.
don't you think the housing committee could have something to do with it?
Well, that's we are part of the committee members, and we have our neighbors, and it's up to us to educate our neighbors, and also the gas company. They gave you when you pay your bill, they gave you a thing it comes in your mail what to expect and what to look for, and if there's anything you call them right away, and they send someone out.
Okay, so we get back to waiting till you smell something. I was
Right, yeah.
thinking of getting something done before you smell something.
If I may, I was in the real estate industry for more than 41 years. And one of the issues that you're talking about is private property. Unless there is a reason, you can't go onto someone else's property and check out their houses and look at their pipes or whatever.
Right, right,
If your next door neighbor is having some construction and you feel like there may be a dangerous situation and you haven't gotten a notice from the Department of Buildings saying that they're going to do some construction, then you have every right to call 311 and to report that you think that there is something dangerous or nefarious going on next door. But the big issue here is private property, and we can't control or mandate to people what they can do on their private property unless we suspect or know that they're doing something dangerous.
Okay, thank you very much.
you-
And thanks for that as well, Marjorie. And there's one other, Ms. Julius, and one other attendee. Unfortunately, it's just like the pipes in the streets in New York. They don't fix them until the pipes burst because it's an old water main line, and it would take, they don't have the manpower to do it. That's what I've always been told. So it's not like we're just brushing it under. It's just the way the city works. And I shouldn't even say the city because that's a private company as well delivering a service. But they are working in conjunction with 311.
right.
In addition to the Block Association, and in addition to preventative measures, does anyone have anything else? I've looked at the notes and I saw
Yeah, I
some
just
housing.
wonder. Yeah, this is Miss Stewart. Yeah, I just want to say, my community over here, I live near downstate between 38, 37, and 39, and I just want to say they did a good job this year, especially with they had a black party for the kids, and they gave us so many book bags and school supplies, and they had the healthcare center was out there. They did blood testing, they did nutrition was there. A lot of health hospital was out there doing tests, and also, and there's a clinic beside me. They every other Friday they gave out lunch. They serve lunch to the community, and they gave out MetroCard.
And this is a city service or this is a downstate service?
No, this is a city service. It's a church on 37. He does it every year, and they have different hospital come and they do all different type of stuff. like blood work. They took your pressure, and they do different stuff. They talk about nutrition and other stuff. Different hospitals
Mm-hmm.
come to the block party.
And
She
this
does
block
this,
is 37th Street, you said?
yeah, and 37, yeah.
How did you hear about it? Did they send it to your
They
block
send they
association
send out flyers, send out flyers to everybody, to all the houses. They put
in your
flyers at the
door?
door. Yeah, yeah.
The reason I'm asking, and I'm making a note of it as well, because we're trying to find ways to reach the community.
Hmm.
And I'm hearing that, and we know, we can see that we have an aged population. So a lot of times we're looking at emails and phone calls, but
Hmm.
you're saying that you received a flyer,
Yeah, flyers, yeah. And they
which
post
in
it
this
on the
case,
and they post it on the posts on the street. Yeah, so people know about it.
beautiful. Again, I'm making a note of it. So it's an old-fashioned way of doing it, but it was extremely effective.
Yeah, very effective. They gave us so many book bags and school supplies, you name it. And they have activities for the kids and
And
grown-ups.
would you know what church is that? Because I would, if we could invite someone
It's
there.
a 7 day it's a 7 day Adventist
Mount
church.
Zion. Mount
It's near
Zion.
to
Zion?
Linden
Oh, okay.
Boulevard.
Yeah, Mount
Yeah.
Pastor Guilford Monroe's.
Uh,
They do it every year, and
Pastor
they
Monroe, you
very
said?
successful.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, he's
they
in
do a good
God
job.
Squad, right? I think.
I'm
It's
sorry, what
near
was the question, Mr. Julius?
He's in
it's
God
near
Squad, right?
No, he's the
the
deputy mayor
Oh, okay.
for clergy. He's the director for clergy for the mayor's office. He has been to our board a couple of times.
and couple politicians come there too also and support.
Thanks for this information. So I know downstate, and I hear Chair Daly is on as well. I know
Mm,
we've had like a small wins with downstate, but
mhm.
anything else that
Downstate
needs to
having
be?
a health fair on Saturday and Sunday. It's from 10 to 4 p.m. and Linden and Brooklyn Avenue, Linden Boulevard and Brooklyn Avenue.
All right, and we're gonna look into that and try to share that information as well. Some of this is worthwhile for the community.
Mhm.
Anyone else? Anything housing related? Again, I've looked at the notes, but I don't want to bring up anything from the notes yet until we hear from the current attendees, like
There's
where
an
we need.
issue. There's an issue on East 38, but I have to call back the borough president because the cars they're speeding like crazy through the block.
And
But
this has,
when
is this a recent
when
issue?
what you said?
Is it a recent issue?
No, it been a going on issue, but I spoke to them. I think last year, or the year before, and what they said they can't put a speed bump because of the school, but it's getting real bad now. They're speeding like crazy.
How long ago did you call? Because we had speeding issues as well, and when we
When
called,
I
we
think
were able.
when the mayor was the borough president, I was dealing with
So
that issue.
it might be time to call again because we had speeding over here, and
Mhm.
we were able to get 2 speed bumps on this block.
Mhm.
I'm not sure why they said they can't put it because it's a school. Because
Yeah, they
sometimes
was
when there is a school, that's when they usually put them there.
right. It's getting real bad now. They're speeding like crazy.
Do you have a block association like Marjorie and Miss Logan on
No,
your block?
I gonna have to check. I'll check that out. When I
I'm
see
sorry.
stuff around here, I call. I call myself. I call and get things done. I
What
get
block is
garbage
this?
can. I get garbage can put on each corner
38th
on
Street.
Church Avenue.
East what?
What is
I
it,
get
38th Street?
yeah. I live on
But
38th
there's
Street.
no school. There's no school over there.
There's a school up there near to Clarkson Avenue. That's where I go and vote.
Yeah, I know.
That's on Lennox.
That's
Yeah,
on
Lennox.
Lennox.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
there's
what
one
they
235.
school
said,
by Easter.
but what they said when I called when Adam was the bar president, they said because of the school they couldn't put a speed bumper around there out there because of the school is nearby. But now
That's
it's
not
getting
true.
worse.
That's actually not a true statement.
That's
So,
what they
Miss
They
had
do.
told
Stewart,
me.
Miss Stewart,
Like for example, East 53rd Street in front of 268, there are speed bumps, but it's how the speed bump is done as well. But
Okay.
they don't normally put speed bumps where buses travel for bus to go over the speed bump or the speed hump, either A or B. But so
I said I
but I
was
think
gonna
that
give them a call again because it's getting real bad.
I think part of the problem with the speed bump is that it's not revenue gaining. So they would rather put up a camera because a camera is revenue gaining,
right. The speed camera, yeah.
which
God, they
doesn't stop
came. They
speeding.
just speed on through the block.
But
Yeah,
at the same time, it's a safety issue.
Right, they
yes.
said this because you have a lot of kids live around here now, move in the neighborhood, and they be outside playing all the time.
So,
And
do
that's a
you know
safety
who to call, Miss Stewart? You have the number to call again?
Yeah, I'm gonna call him again, the bar president. Yeah, I'm gonna call again.
It's not the
I have
bar
his number.
president's office. It's not the bar president's
It's
office.
DOT, right? It would be
It's the
Transport.
it is the Department of Transportation, and
right.
Department of
so
Transportation.
yes, ma'am. So
Can I have
you
the number? You have the number?
you'll call 311, and then once you get
Oh,
the
okay,
complaint
good.
number,
All right, okay, I'll do that.
once you call
I do that.
311, once you call 311, you
And they
get
ask
the
you what it. Okay,
no,
good.
hold
All
on.
right.
Let me finish the thought for a second.
Okay.
You call 311, you get the complaint number that you put in to ask for a speed bump, not a speed hump, but a speed bump, because there's a difference between a speed hump and a speed bump,
That's
right?
Yeah.
All right, and then when you call for it, ask them to put it on your street, then you get a complaint number. With that complaint number, you're gonna call the board, and then make that complaint back to the board so that we can reevaluate what it is and what it's like.
Okay.
So when you call the
Gotcha.
bar president's office, that's also just a complaint as well.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Would she have to get petition from the other neighbors that
Yes, that's why the block association is would be vital, because the
yeah.
block association speaks for the block.
Right.
So maybe one of the things that you might want to start off with is try to form a block association.
We have transportation committee at CB 17 for that. We submit when like pre-COVID, we submitted applications for speed bump on 39 between Farragut and Foster, and they would always deny it because of the shape of the speed bump then. It was very wide, it couldn't be in front of somebody's gate. But now the speed bumps are different dimension. So it is the transportation committee that submits the application
Okay.
for speed bumps. So we can contact them. They're in-house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So again, I'm glad you have the information. What we want to stress, again, we're asking for some of what's out there before we. Part of what I had started with is saying that we're going to try to collaborate more with NHS, and NHS comes to mind because they provide so many services. And in working with NHS, which is Neighborhood Housing Services, and Marjorie can correct me if I'm saying it or if I'm not putting it fully the way it should be. But there are so many services at NHS that are sometimes not reaching the community. One that comes to mind is Veterans Grant. We have housing grants, repair grants for veterans, that
Mhm.
sometimes it's underutilized. So we're
Mhm.
hoping that we can hear more from people on this committee and from
Mhm.
CB17 that we're going to be able to connect them so that these grants can be used. Anything else to add, Marjorie, or if I
So
didn't
you have
fully present it?
so you have housing grants and veteran grants.
That's exactly right.
Yes.
Okay.
No, it is a process. We don't want to make it seem as if though you're going to call and you're going to get a grant right away.
No, I know
So
there's a process for everything.
yes, because what I referred a friend, and the friend went in and her credit was not the best credit, and she pretty much gave up like within. I said, no, it's a process. Let's
Right.
repair the credit first, and then let's take all the other steps, and then you're going to be able to get the grant and purchase that home.
Put the seatbelt back on.
And to one of the points made earlier. I'm
Is he
sorry.
not normal or something?
Oh, that's,
Am I
I'm sorry,
speaking over
that's my
someone?
son speaking, my apologies.
Oh, okay. I was trying to say that one of the things that the grants also address that Leonie had brought up earlier is the aging population, because there is money available for seniors to retrofit or to modify their homes so that they can continue to age in place. So that's another service that NHS offers that we would love to see people take advantage of.
You said there is grants available for seniors.
Yes. In order to, retrofit your home so that you can stay in place. Let's say yeah.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do, Marjorie, the number quickly. This way I can at least drop that number in the chat. I'm hoping everyone is able to see the number. I'm going to put the address and the number in there. So at least it's
The link to the, I'm sorry, Carol. I think the link to the website would be really helpful, because then they can, they'll have a whole menu of services.
I will as well. I'm putting that in here as well. Thanks for that reminder. In the meantime, is there anything else that anyone on here tonight would like us to address? And really, I've already mentioned the Block Association application. So we've already mentioned that. We're going to keep mentioning it. So I've just dropped the link, and let me just put the phone number as well. Hopefully you're able to see it. This is just one avenue, and we're hoping to invite housing representatives as well, so they can come on here and speak to let us know what's available for this community. Is everyone able to see the link and the
I'm on my
information?
phone. I'll check my Wi-Fi is not working, so that's why I'm using my phone. It's like in and out. So that's why I'm on my phone, house phone.
It is visible.
Okay, beautiful. Thanks. So we're cognizant of everyone's time, and this is just an initial meeting. We haven't had any meetings since January, I believe. We're not going to keep you here if we don't have anything else at this time. We will be on every month, same time. Is there anything else anyone else would like to share before we leave regarding housing, unfinished business?
I have one thing to share. When they was digging up the street, right, to fix it, run the pipes, and at the bus stop on Church Avenue and 39, there's two big holes there, and when it rains, it's like a river there. And I'd call to have it fixed, and I noticed they haven't fixed it. I'm gonna have to call them again, because I fell in there myself. I didn't know it was a hole there, and I fell right inside there.
And where did you call? Did you call 311 to get that complaint
number? Yeah, I
number?
called 311, yeah.
Yes.
And they said they were gonna send someone up, but I haven't been fixed as yet. So I'm gonna have to do a follow-up call.
What happened?
That's one thing with me in my neighborhood. I see something, I call right away.
Something smell over there.
You still have your complaint number, right? Because whenever I go back to them, I just give them that reference number so they know that this is like a subsequent call that I'm making.
I have to look for it.
All right, thanks for that. Anyone else? Anything else housing related, or anything else that you'd like to see the housing committee focus on besides what we're going to be bringing?
See, yes. Hi, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
All right. So, as Chair Dr. Renaud informed us, I am Roderick Daly. I am the chair of the community board, and so welcome to everyone.
How you doing?
here.
How you doing? glad
I'm
to
doing
hear your voice.
I'm doing well, and our co-chair as well, Miss Nicole Julius. So I'm really excited to be back. All right. So there are a couple of things that I wanted to talk about real fast. One, I just got a call last week, and I'm sorry that Dr. Renaud and Miss Julius said did not get a chance to speak to you about it, but now everybody is going to be aware of it at the same time. The previous chair, Miss Pearline Fields, had asked and written a grant for a shower bus, right? Which through the Congresswoman's office, Congresswoman Yvette Clark, which she received a grant for $338,000 for the shower bus. Both the chair and the co-chair and the committee can have that conversation around whether or not we would still. I don't know if anybody's on this committee when that discussion was done a year or so back, when it was awarded to us was the end of last year. So that's one. So the shower bus basically is a bus that will provide cleanliness for people within the community. It would be stationed someplace or parked someplace, and that people would be able to get on the bus and shower and bathe and whatever application that you guys would look at from the shower bus. So that's A. B, block association, because this is this is primarily housing with block association, which was an ad hoc committee, a committee type piece. Now they kind of made it into one because it kind of metamorphed into something great. We still want to look back and making the block associations religiously, as part of what we're doing through the Housing and Block Association Committee. So tell a friend, bring a friend, tell a block association to come back. We're here. We have two dynamic leaders of the block association. So everybody, please go out there, have this conversation, and have your neighbor let them know about it. And the last component is, along with NHS, you do have ENF, Erasmus Neighborhood Federation, which is on Rogers Avenue, and Church, also that deals with issues on housing, and they expanded a little bit into immigration as well. So they also offer services that relates to housing along with NHS. And both organizations, I think Denise Wright Scott is the president of the board of ENF. So have those conversations as well to see what can be offered in terms of housing. Lastly, there are opportunities for individuals who are having crisis, right, with homes, like with heating, with rent, and the other issues as it relates to the city of Yes, like retrofitting your basement to make it into an apartment, or retrofitting downstairs to provide an extra room. This is information that is readily accessible, and also letting the committee know that please do reach out to your chairs, to your chair and co-chair, because I know factually that the chair has a nice vibrant block over there that is so cute, and I'm very jealous of it. So beautify the block and everything else that she did. So I'm very, very jealous. What did you won an award, Dr. Renault? Yeah, block
We
won
we won
several.
last year. We won last year, and I have to like plug it and show off a little bit because you brought it up. Marjorie is gonna put me in check.
Right? Yes,
We
yes.
we won the greenest block in Brooklyn from the Botanic Garden for the fifth time out of the last 30 years they've had it. But Marjorie's block is a strong contender as well. They do great work.
Contenders are not
No,
winners, Marjorie. Let's
no,
get
no,
it. Let's.
no. They've won. They do great work over there. And what I love with them, Chair Daily, they're always there to support the
Uh-huh.
community. They always show up. So sometimes I see them in Crown Heights. I see them like wherever I go. I'm like, oh my God, they're everywhere. But yeah, Marjorie knows this stuff as well, and so we're hoping that we can use all of these organizations that are in Brooklyn. They're waiting for us to ask them for stuff. But the Botanic Garden is waiting for us to say, can I get more plants to put in front of my home? They really want us to engage them, right? So we're hoping that it connects because it all intersects with housing.
Yeah, I know. Marjorie, don't mind me. I'm a competitor at heart, so so me just spurs
I'm
up everybody to
I'm
fix up them
smiling
block.
as you can see.
Don't mind
It's
me.
all good. The one
I'm jealous. Don't worry about it. I'm jealous myself. So
Carol, you're on the East 20s block, East 28?
East
she's a
25th, East
Oh,
25, between Clarendon
oh,
and
okay.
D.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
I,
see,
25th.
like stuff like that. So I always look at these other block association and how do they achieve so that the up and coming, like to teach the other ones to mentor. Like this is how we do it. This is how we come together. I know there's a grant, right? I think I've seen might be the East 28th Street there's a grant there to educate other people to say, hey, there's these grants that you could apply for. There's these cleaning days you can do. Like I think, I see they do like a cleanup day, like early March, April, to educate others to say, hey, these are the things, like especially the new block association coming up.
Yes, there is, and I'm glad you brought it up because there are like some citizens grant, and we're also landmarked over here, and I would wish that more communities in Flatbush would get landmarked as well because it's not that hard to do because again it intersects with housing. If you
Mhm.
get landmarked, then they can't build around you, at least not for the next few years until something else happens, right? So yes, I agree with you.
and so the last
Roderick,
thing
I have one
the-
question for you. Is
wait,
it
when
possible to get a list of all the block association
so
registered?
we're gonna work on that. You and Dr. Renault can involve DM Fraser because we had a list, but some of them are now not in function, they're defunct, or they have lost certain things because of the ineffectiveness of the block association housing for the last few years. So one of those things right now is to revitalize, right? So one of the marching orders to revitalize. I want to add one thing and then I'm going to stop talking. Many of the block associations, when I got involved, they did different events to highlight their block. One of the event would be like a dinner, like a scholarship for a neighboring block. I know I was honored by East 34th Street Block Association many years ago. East 56th Street, Clarendon Road has its own entity block association that they raise funds to help. Local elected officials are very much in favor of helping block associations because it's easier, right? So they get their proclamation, they get their this through the block association. So it is very helpful and creative and ways to help to raise because as a block association, you are a not-for-profit entity once you create the not-for-profit on the block. So you can do things like buying a snowplow or buying a this, the block party, um, the health, whatever it is, and you want to co-name a street, you bypass certain information that other people would have to go through person by person by person. Now you have a block association. You don't need all of that. You just discuss it and move forward with it. So encouraging more block associations to be formed. And I'm sure Ms. Logan, who I see on the call, can also speak of when the block association component of the housing and block association was massive and what it looked like. So those are the things. In terms of your question, Co-Chair Julius, is that you, District Manager Frazier has a list. Also, we have events that the have done throughout the summer, what block and where they are, an opportunity to invite those people because there's a name to those applications. There are over 50 block parties this summer that I was privy to. I think I didn't, obviously I couldn't go to all 50, but I did go to one or two over the summer. So this would be a good opportunity to do that as well, in answering to your question.
Yes.
All right.
And again, thank you both.
And thanks to everyone for joining us. Before we wrap it up, because again, we're looking at your time and we don't have much more initially to share, is there anything else housing or block association related that you would like to share with the committee before we adjourn?
I have to give you a call, Miss Fraser, about the botanic garden.
Oh, you mean Dr. Renault, not Miss Frazier, Dr. Renault.
Oh yeah. Oh, you get the flowers in front of your house.
No worries. Do you have the email or the number, or I'm going to put the number in here. Are you able to see it? You said you're on your phone.
I think I should be able to see that as soon as my Wi-Fi come back on.
Let
That
me
should
have your
be good.
email. Can I get your email quickly? Then I can
Yeah.
email you.
Yeah. Jason Stewart, JACYNTH, and the last name is
JACYNTH.
JACYNTH,
Uh-huh.
and the last name is Stewart, STEWRT. 1 at gmail.com.
1@gmail.com. All right. I'm going to
Yeah.
cross-reference it from the list from Miss Farah, and I'll email you that information.
Okay, good. Thank you very much.
No problem. Anyone else? Anything else before we adjourn this meeting?
Hi, this is Leonie Logan again. Just one last thought. Maybe what we can also think about is having some sort of a, especially now with the age of communication, maybe getting together and having a WhatsApp generated for the block association where you can put information in there that's time sensitive and other information that comes from the elected officials. Even, and things from NHS. I'm on the NHS mailing list, so I do get emails from Tyrone McDonald as to what programs NHS offers. And our block has a newsletter. So we put out a monthly newsletter, and in that newsletter, it has everything that the elected officials announce in terms of what's happening, whatever programs or whatever it is that is happening within a given month. And so if we miss something, the newsletter goes out early in the month. If something else comes up, we also set up a WhatsApp for the block association. So those messages are dropped into the WhatsApp so that people can also get that information. So maybe something to think of in, having a WhatsApp for the housing/block association.
Thanks for that, Miss Logan. That's a great idea. We have one over here as well. Sometimes I have to mute it. It goes off so much. But it works because it helps with packages. It helps with a wide variety of stuff. So I've made a note of it here. And we're going to confirm with Chair Daly that it's fine since it's a public entity. Once it is, we're going to move forward. And what I love with WhatsApp, if you don't want to be in it, you can always remove yourself from it.
Right, right.
Yeah, we use it to notify people if there's somebody suspicious
Oh, yeah,
walking in.
that's good. That's a good idea. Yeah.
And somebody going and helping themselves to people's plants or whatever it is. You know, it's an
Oh.
alert.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Chair Daly, I'm just going to send you something just to make sure that there's nothing legal here, because I know how it is with city entity and Zoom and before we
Yeah,
start
and they
one.
send a lot of crazy stuff on WhatsApp too.
Thanks though, Miss Logan, and thanks again to everyone.
You're
Miss
welcome.
Julius, you have anything else before we formally adjourn the meeting?
No, that's it. Nothing else.
All right, so we would like to thank you so much again for your time. We know everyone is busy. Summer is winding down. You could be doing many, many more things. Thank you so much for joining. We're listening. We've made notes. We're gonna come back, and we appreciate again, just to circle back what Sister Fields did. That's a great achievement to be able to get this shower bus, because I walk on Flatbush Avenue and I see so many, the term that we're using now is unhoused people. I still say homeless because they don't have anywhere to go. So this shower bus, I think, is relevant, is timely, and I appreciate the work that she did, and I'm glad her work lives on. And I'm now going to ask to formally acknowledge.
And
One
where
other
the church
comment.
bus is located.
We are going to fine tune it. Chair Daly just brought forth that we have the grant funding. So there's work that has to be done on the back end before that bus sits anywhere. But just from what I saw when I walk on Flatbush Avenue, I know that that's something that's needed in this community.
Especially Church Avenue. Wow. You don't want to go this time.
I just have one other comment. So since we only meet once a month, and sometimes you might have something pressing that we can't wait for a month, so I have no problem giving out my contact information. So sometimes you might need to research something and have it prepared for the next meeting. So I'm comfortable. Any question, any issues that come up, feel free to email myself and Carol so we can look it up and get back to you in relevant time.
All right. Thanks, Ms. Julius. And thanks, everyone, again. And we're going to ask to adjourn this meeting. If someone can just second the motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second the motion.
And this is Ms. Stewart.
Yes.
No, you
yes.
have to make the motion first. Someone has to make the motion.
Leon, a motion to adjourn the meeting.
And I second
Thanks, Ms.
it.
Logan. And Ms. Stewart seconded. And thank you so much, everyone. We truly appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you
Good
very much.
evening.
Have a good
Have a
evening,
good
everyone.
night, everyone.